Hey everybody, it's the Last Robo-Kai here. It's time for more Nioh, but this time it's Twilight Missions. I'm joined by Cool Guy.
Oh, it's my first time ever seeing a Twilight mission, actually.
Yeah, so what's happening here is we've stepped into Wave of the Strong, the next difficulty level, as you can see, and we're doing Foreboding Seas, which is the the name of the Twilight version of the Water Temple, basically.
Yeah, the one.
The Ocean Roars Again, I believe, was the name of the of the normal mission.
Mm-hmm.
And because we're in Wave the Strong, we can start using our Ultra-Core Cups, which are typically used for multiplayer and stuff, to ask the game to give us a little bit more beneficial RNG and drop us divine weapons more often. So that's what that was. I'm also wearing the Benkai head wraps, because why not?
Looks awesome.
The way Twilight missions work in Nioh, because I can never remember if I actually explained it, is that every day 2 will be available. Taken from the pool of all the Twilight missions that are available, and you might not actually get to access them because it doesn't really depend on whether or not you've actually, whether you've actually beaten the game or not, beaten the mission or not. So you might get some that are just straight up unavailable, and you might get some others which which repeat on loop of like the same one that you've beaten 100 times. Like it basically just randomly shuffles, and sometimes luck sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And what makes doing the Twilight missions so important is that they will typically give you high-ranking gear and also high-ranking crafting gear for making better gear or altering your stat items through tempering and things like that. So it's actually really, if you're really wanting to sort of try and build up your William to be something stronger, it does bode well to do it. And they work by covering the entire map in this horrible Twilight red bloodness that you see going around, and also mixes up significantly the placement of enemies in the stage. So as you all clearly saw, there was no Fuku at the beginning to say hello to. The guys that were usually on the bridge, the bandits, they're all skeletons now. And where there was usually a skeleton ambush, a 2-man ambush here, we just have a giant skeleton. I won't bother pointing out all the differences because obviously you can start to figure it out
We've
for
also
yourself.
just sort of casually seen one where there was a ninja yoki there. And you just sort of nonchalantly cut his horn off and murdered him. So like that was a thing. I mean, like you were busy talking about everything. You're just like it was like oh hey, let me just absolutely punk this incredibly dangerous enemy.
He was one of the weak ones. He was one of the weak ones, like that guy was.
Whatever, man.
Those guys are weaky boys. You can slap them easy.
Excuse you, dude.
This is more of a problem.
You just did like this frame-perfect dodge around a rapidly incoming flaming arrow.
I am vastly over-leveling this stage, so I don't think you should have to worry too much about that. Like,
it's
rank
fine,
200, like, we were at like 270 for
My
like
God.
that final mission, like, from the last one. So this isn't a big deal, but it was one of the ones that was available.
You say this isn't a big deal, but like I mean, I said this right before we started commentary, but I'm gonna like put it out now. One of the things that Robo-Kai frequently gives me credit for is when I choose to get into a game, I learn everything about it, and then by the time I go into it, I've completely mastered the game to the point where it is almost entirely a math equation. And Robo-Kai is always just like, that's really impressive, and I've never done that before. And then like just like we see all of these fucking perfect dodges, and like the absolutely like 100% perfect situational awareness he had in the last freaking episode. I was just like pretty sure I just got dunked on forever. Just saying.
Look, I don't think about these things. I operate on a very Bruce Lee don't think feel sort of level when it comes to playing video games.
And it clearly works for you, homie. It clearly works for you.
Yeah, no, it's like when I play games like, because at the time of just gonna keep dating all of this, at the time of this recording, it's like a week away from a release of another XCOM game. and
oh my
the
god,
Chimera Squad, which of course
Chimera
Guy is
Squad.
very excited about.
Oh my god,
And that's like
I'm
one of those
so
ones
excited.
where you can sort of like you can see the difference between Cool Guy and I when it comes to playing this game, playing these sorts of those sorts of games. Is because Cool Guy, as we said, can get it down to a math equation. You see other people who play it like who can play these games extremely well, like they play it a very specific way and things like that. When I play the game, it's very much of a what do I feel like doing this turn specifically? I don't think about what my end game goal
it's
is.
So glorious. It's so glorious.
And it's really funny because that really helps me out in some fights, and in other fights it's like, that could be a bit of a problem. But for the most part, it works out well for me. I don't think too far ahead. I just jump in, and if like shit goes wrong, I just go, well, okay, well now this is my situation. How do I get out of this situation?
Dude, well, I mean, it works for Bruce Lee, and it's working for you in this game. Like, I mean, but I don't have to even remotely pretend how delightful this is to watch. Because, all right, where the hell is the Biwa?
He's up on the boat. The
You
boat ramp.
son of
I
a
call it
bitch.
the boat ramp because it's a ramp made entirely out of boat. But there he is.
There you
Thankfully-
are, you son of a
thankfully he's in
bitch.
shot, so there we go.
What a bastard. But yeah, I'm just over here completely fanboying out about this because
He's still
so
on the high
delightful.
from like the series of fights in the last episode, which admittedly even I was like getting hype watching.
I mean, it's like, I wouldn't even call it that because you're just like, I don't care if you're like, oh, I'm over leveling this, but like you're also still not making any real mistake. Like, you could have just taken that Umibozu on the chin. You just could have been like, whatever, it's fine. Like, this guy, he's already hit me once. It did like 7% damage. This guy has zero threat to me. No, instead, I'm just going to bait out his attack, make a perfect dodge to my right, and then cut him while his Amrita gem is exposed. Boom, done. Like. So clinical. There it is. Just saying.
Also, I can't remember if I fall into the water or not in this episode.
I mean, that is
That's like
frequently
my
something
brain
that
is
might
like, I
happen.
didn't fall in the water last time, and I don't know how many people that upset because the first time I played this stage, I know I fell into the water a lot, and I know everyone falls into the water a lot.
I fell into the water like half a dozen times the first time.
Yeah, I know. I laughed at you for a lot of it.
Oh my god, I laughed at me. Like,
at the very least, the game was nice enough that like it threw you back onto the shore and let someone pick you up. Thank you.
yay!
Nurikabe. It's always just nice to see them doing their thing.
I
Yeah.
mean, what?
Obviously I'm not speeding through this particular mission because, as before, the Umibozu is still a bit of a bugger. As the difficulty levels get higher, he consistently becomes the least enjoyable fight just because of his damage soak. Like, it's
Yeah, big bosses, man.
legitimately a pain. Especially considering what gets added when you sort of hit Way of the Wise, Way of the Nioh. There are a lot of difficulty levels. Like, Way of the Strong is the one we're on at the moment. So it's the first one, and I believe that was the only extra difficulty level on release. As time went on, they added Wise, which upped things again, and like I'll shifted around a lot of the enemy placement. Like added a few new enemies, or like gave enemies newer gear and things like that, which I will show off in the next episode, because Way of the Demon also incorporates those, and Way of the Demon incorporates a lot of interesting systems to it too. But with what Way of the Demon does, and obviously we'll see it when we get to it, it makes the Umibozu like just. It will insta-kill you with a hit, because that's basically what the difficulty spike in this game does. And the problem is that it takes you forever to like even remotely tickle it. Like, it's just not fun. But thankfully, the other good thing about the difficulty levels in like Nioh and in Nioh 2 is you don't have to beat all the missions to proceed to the next area. There is only a requirement that you beat a certain number of missions to unlock more regions, and then beat more missions to unlock more regions. So. And it's very generous. You only have to do like 2 or 3 at the start to unlock
Out of
like
the,
more
8
areas.
you have something
Yeah,
like
so
that?
you don't. Yeah, and so you don't have to like endure having to do all of the all of the
Yeah,
crappy
if
missions.
there's
You don't
like
have to fight the
there's a
Umibozu
couple
in
of
the
specific
centipede
situations
again.
that are just giving you a giant amount of grief. You're just like, screw that. Idiot. Failed to follow up.
And I'm thankful for that every day.
Why can't he be more like Ryu Hayabusa that follows up like 5 times in a row?
It was just like following up perpetually.
Like there was like just the infinite combo. Sidestep. Oh,
It's already fell in the water.
There.
He fell in the water. There's another fucking Biwa Boku in the background.
Thought I saw something back there. I wasn't sure though. What a punk.
Yeah, well, you know, them being weaker lets me show off a little bit more. You know, I would not normally be so cocky as to try that bullshit on a giant skeleton when it's like we're equivalent levels, because he would just like feed me my own teeth, and I would be like, yep, I deserved that. See, that's just me. That's Twilight.
Again, just the okay, the like frame perfect dodge there.
Oh, I got set on fire, so I think I could hit and dodge.
I mean, sort of. You got set on fire. You didn't get run over. You dodged back into the
I didn't
trail
die.
of fire
Thank God
that
for that
idiot left.
Thank God I didn't die. That would be like doing a video where I spend all the time pointing out holes that you've fallen in and then falling down the hole. That would be really silly.
I mean, like you could have just spliced in like crap from our streams where you're just like, hey, there's a hole there, and then a nanosecond before I fall down the fucking hole. Like, spoiler alert, anybody who's who is wondering, every hole that there was to fall down, I fell down.
I'm sort of thinking I should go as the final video for all of this, which I haven't recorded yet because I hadn't really thought to do it until recently. Is all the spirit guardians and just all the items and just showing off what exactly they do. So I may sit down and record that sometime over this week because I got a little bit of free time. Because yeah, we haven't shown what a lot of them do, and it would be very easy for me to find a spot where like an enemy spawns close nearby and just like bully them repeatedly with everything. I'm going to show off a weapon that I used, an item I used in like one of the very first episodes, but never actually explained it because we were off on a tangent. So please look forward to that because we've got coming up.
That does sound like us. That sounds like us, like word for word. Just like we started talking about something and certain things just fell through the cracks because there was a point to be brought back.
I am sort of moving a little quicker now because I'm like, okay, I could do I think everybody gets the general drift now of like this level. Yeah, there's some different stuff in some different locations, so I'm not gonna go unlock all the secrets and do all the secret pods and stuff. I'm gonna sort of take us up and beat up Umibozu, and then we can move on to the next episode, which is where the game starts to actually like really difficulty spike on you. I got Twilight in Way of the Demon is pretty crazy. But yeah, after Way of the Demon, however, is actually the final difficulty level. I don't think I even mentioned that. There is actually a final difficulty level.
You mentioned Way of the Nioh in like
Way of
passing
the Nioh.
At one point.
Yeah, Way of the Nioh is the maximum difficulty where enemies will just cleave your butthole in half in like one hit. You generally have to really spec a build that will enable you to do likewise to them, and that's where the Abyss comes in. So we'll talk in the next episode. We will be talking about the Abyss a lot as well, and we will show off the Abyss, even though we can't access its full meaty powers yet. Not with this character anyway. And obviously to show off Way of the Demon, I will be switching to my character that I played this game on PC with, who is up to that and like much more better geared than this current character.
This is the one. That's the character that you spent like however many hundreds of hours on.
Yeah.
To
this
develop
one's catching
this
up
feel.
though. This character is catching up. I gotta say that.
Can't hate, man. Alright, later, Shield Lords!
I forgot I did that.
Oh, man! That was just disrespect, and I love it.
Yeah. Twilight Missions, you also face a lot of enemies before they actually get introduced to the story. Like, the very first mission, if you do that one, I think you get introduced to monk wheels. And it's just like, oh, okay, wow, that's early to get introduced to that sort of brutality, but okay, you do you.
We saw monk wheels at least originally in a village mission, but it was a side mission.
Generally, I believe the game is coded so that the first Twilight mission that will always be available on the first character, like on the first day of that character being made, will always be like the village version of the Twilight mission, so that you can go in and like play a Twilight mission and see what it's like. But after that, it shuffles them.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Look how much amrita it takes to level up now.
Frickin' this guy. I'm like, I'm only the physical incarnation of the god Atlas. Look how hard it is for me to progress any further.
There you go. Hyokoto mask, I believe that was, and you might have noticed it had a very goofy face on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So
I did in fact notice that there was a goofy face.
Yeah, it's got a sort of a goofy, puffy face, and it's got a wrap around its head, sort of like what someone would wear to sort of protect their face from embers and stuff. I think the general impression is it's supposed to be somebody breathing onto flames. And of course, because lightning is no good against the Mibozu, I just switched to Hinazumi. So, like, my primary guardian for this fight will now be Hinazumi, the Crack Rat.
Crack Rat!
I love Crack Rat, and I can't believe I never considered it the Crack Rat until doing this Let's Play. It's just a damn shame he's not in Nioh 2, because obviously you don't really do anything with the Mori. Or with, like, the successors of the Mori, so it's like, no Crack Rat.
Okay. Alright, Skeleton.
The Skeleton's like, I can't...
Relax.
Halt, could you stop, get out from under the... Could you... And I was just like, no.
He's just like, I can't wait to be a worthless piece of shit and fire all of these arrows at the floor. And you're just like, I told you about arrows, bro. I told you, dog.
Alright.
Alright.
Get in there and give him a good tickle.
I was gonna say, is it actually going to give you like the cinematic for it after all of that? Almost 10,000 damage from firing his laser.
I've never had him do 2 attacks. That was actually kind of a surprise. Like, he'll normally do 1 attack and then move. So yeah, you put the mask on and then you breathe fire.
That is so cool!
I'm gonna stop goofing around in a second.
Yeah, seriously.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna stop goofing around. I'm gonna eat shit forever.
Man.
Yeah, because he does have a quick version of the laser he can do, so you have to be paying attention. He hits, you can see though, he does hit hard.
He sort of like reached around to hug you and slapped you instead. It's like the ultimate betrayal there.
Yeah, for all the damage I'm doing to him, he's hitting very hard.
He most certainly is.
Masker. Yeah! Whoosh. I love the little jig you do. Get hit with the boat. Do a jig, get hit with the boat. He really wants to laser me, like, beyond all laseringness.
He's a fire in his laser. Okay, let's stop making idiotic noises now.
Not quite enough to do good damage to him, but here we go. He's gonna jump in the middle. Yep. Alright. Let's see what silliness I can get. Yep, here we go. Have a puff. Do some smoke.
Crack, go!
Bozu dying also gives me Amrita for that, so that's kind of nice.
Alright, good game.
I swear for a second there, he was just like, he was still there. Little Crack Rat was just there, lingering.
Yeah. Crack Rat was incredibly pleased with himself.
He just looks up at William, tears in his eyes at finally being used, and goes, William, I'm on crack.
I do cocaine.
Oh, crack,
like
William.
The freaking rats just like, all right, now I'm gonna go be the spirit guardian for. Oh my god, I love that so much.
Yeah, so it has, like, I'm not sure if it's, like, what it's supposed to be a depiction of, and it probably will say on the item description what it's meant to be, but, yeah, whatever. It is definitely a very goofy face wrapped with its head wrapped, and it's, like, shoots fire out, so I don't know, like, I don't know, maybe it's, like, a reference to fire breathers or something? Or,
I don't need an explanation. Like
goofy.
William did something fucking silly, followed by something fucking impossible. Like, that is all I need to understand about this situation.
Alright, now we're going to do the... I thought it was going to be in the next one, but then I remembered that this goes pretty quickly because I'm doing the first mission. So we're going to be going into Way of the Demon next with my other character. Because I just remember now, the Abyss is actually quite lengthy. So, like, that's going to be the next video. So we'll go to Isle of Demons, look at the mission level, 470. But this is probably the best way to just... This was the best and quickest way to show all this off. Just showing that off, because we never actually get to see that description before, because it normally would just drop you straight into the level.
Yeah.
You see, I've got, like, a lot of cups on this character. You've seen this character before, because I used it to get us through Yuki Onna, because, like, you were lagging so badly at that point, you were in, like, a time warrior's hole, and we were, like, not gonna stop. I was just like, nope, just summon me in. Summon me in, I'm just gonna frag this Charlie.
We were, like, a quarter speed, and I was just like...
It go weird. I can only hope Nioh 2's latency isn't as awful. But here he is. This is ultimate. This is ultimate Super William.
Damn, son, looking pimp.
Let's see if I show off my character stats just for the hell of it. You know.
Nah.
Nope, I don't.
I did notice that you needed like 5 million Emerita to level up, though. Like, did notice that.
Yeah. So this, you know, the way this basically goes is no different to...
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go. So there's the damage he does.
50 million, 500 million.
Yeah, I wanted to see how much damage he did, and it was just like he missed on the first swing, and it was just kind of like, wow, that is actually like literally the most depressing thing I've ever seen.
I literally wanted you to hit me, bro.
So yeah, the higher difficulty levels start mixing up your enemy placement a bit more. So like, and your first hint of it is when you go into this stage, and around this corner is a giant dweller.
Okay,
that's your first sign that things aren't quite normal.
Things are not
anymore.
what they seem.
You know, most of the enemies will be exactly where they're supposed to be. The game will sometimes throw in a few extra challenging enemies, or replace existing enemies with stronger ones as well. Up here, once you sort of get up past this initial area, there's a guy with a hand cannon who's not normally there. Like a peasant with a like a bandit with a hand cannon isn't something you see very often, but he's up there, sort of at the top of that hill. And I'm just waiting for me to
blast you in the face.
Yep, here it comes.
Okay,
yeah,
then.
And look how fast he fires. Who gave this guy who's not even wearing proper pants a goddamn hand cannon? Rude.
Jesus, he didn't even wait. Like he doesn't even hesitate. After that cannonball is out of the muzzle of his weapon, he's just like, "Aight, reload. Don't care about overheating this shit. We're rocking."
I have serious concerns wondering who exactly is doing the reloading for him to make it go that quickly. Has he got a ghost yokai ammo bringer? Now you might notice that guy in the distance is red and glowing and has a whole bunch of bonus effects on him. This is what we'll start encountering in Way of the Demon. Enemies will be placed with, and bosses will also receive a variety of buffs to make them more dangerous. I was talking about how Umibozu can get pretty fucking ridiculous and tanky. Well, if he has the right buffs on him, yeah, you better believe it. So gaze attention.
Oh, wait, are these randomly generated buffs as well?
I don't think they're randomly generated. I think they're specifically generated. But as you can see, like this guy's got stamina. He does more damage. I think he steals Emrita on hit. So like if he hits me, you'll see my Emrita will go just below.
Dude,
I
I flashed back to Diablo 2 so bad, running into like the freaking extra strong, extra fast fire enchanted mob on like your level 95 hardcore character, and then he just comes up and just punches you right in the jaw for a jillion damage, killing you dead.
And he had an elemental effect. He had movement speed. So that is a new peril to face in these high difficulty levels. And Way of the Nioh, they're still around, and they will absolutely destroy you as well. Like, I haven't gotten to Way of the Nioh with this character either, because I just ended up sort of just not investing enough time into the game to do it. But that's okay, because I don't think I'd show it anyway, because it would just be like crawling through a trench as people are like shooting rockets at me.
Just like staying on your. Okay, later, dude. Just staying on your stomach the entire time because raising your head will just get it blasted off.
Pretty much. I do have an effect on my Adachi. It seems that when I hit the enemy, it lowers their attack. So I think that's just like, there are a lot of signs that I still don't bother learning in this game. The game is a lot better about describing them. So yeah, that's another one that would start appearing, I think, in Way of the Wise. Is this guy here would appear like as another guy to face before you can go and get the key. And obviously our friend who pops out of here is going to be buffed up as well. And as you can see, he's got I think, was that a poison? Yeah, I think his attacks do poison.
Yeah, it looks like a poison attack, along with more damage, more speed, more stamina, and
take a look
attack speed.
take a look at my Amrita bar. It was full before. He hits me once. I don't have full Amrita anymore, so you can't just like fight one of these guys and get hit and go, okay, I better living weapon, because they took it. They took your living weapon from you.
Took it away, man.
Which I believe the Magatsu warriors do naturally, but I can't remember. I think they naturally like just lower your Amrita by one.
It's a nasty trick, one way or the other.
Definitely is a way that the game deals with people who have builds like I do, that basically goes, oh no, I'm in danger, turns into living blender.
Literally can't hurt me for the next 45 seconds. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna make sure that you can't do that. Man, there's giant dwellers, and then there's that.
They're just so freaky. It's just like a very big mining man died, and now he is a ghost.
He seemed like he was moving with such like ponderous slowness, but I
cut out a lot of stuff at this point because I think y'all get the idea.
yeah. No, like the village on fire we've seen before. It's fine.
Yeah, so we're gonna head straight to the Onryoki and show him off. Just show off what the game buffs him up with.
I'm sure that's going to be a goddamn nightmare, considering the Onryoki is like the game's go-to for brute force fuck you up. Yeah, I'm sure those buffs that you're applying to yourself have nothing to do with anything.
Well, one of the buffs I've got is the Carnage Talisman. So yeah, it's not too bad. He's got increased stamina, increased strength, and drains Amrita.
Yeah.
It's the later ones that will probably be a lot more dangerous, but yeah, that's it. That's what
right,
what
well,
Way of the Demon
that was
looks
that
like.
then.
Yeah, it's like it's bosses that are already pretty tanky that become absolutely atrocious to fight. But don't you worry. Like, going on later and later, like a lot of those guys are way stronger. Again, like, character kind of over-leveled for that fight, but I felt it was the easiest one to show it off in, because it's the one where everyone can probably like see like, okay, that probably shouldn't be there. So next time is the Abyss. I've talked about this a lot since the very first episode when it unlocked. I think it was the very first episode, but anyway, the Abyss is a very special thing that we will talk about as we go in the next episode. I've been the Last Robokai.
And I have been Cool Guy.